This pack charges from 0 to full in as low as 5 minutes. As low as 5 minutes, and still built for longevity.
This pack claims to charge from 0 to full in as low as 5 minutes. If this were true in a strict physical sense, industry titans like CATL and BYD would have deployed it long ago. Instead, despite investing billions of dollars in research and development, they deliberately stop at 10 to 15 minutes. The real question is not whether a 5-minute charge is possible, but what is actually happening inside the battery during those 5 minutes. Minute 1. Thermal shock and false voltage. Have you ever poured boiling water into a cold glass? That sharp crack is exactly what happens to a battery's internal resistance during the first 60 seconds of a 5-minute charge. This is the phase engineers call thermal shock and false voltage. In that very first minute, the tabs, the thin metal bridges connecting the internal jelly roll to the outside world, become dangerously hot. Even in optimized cell architectures, these tabs still obey resistive heating laws. Cooling plates in modern electric vehicles sit beneath or beside the cells, not inside them. During a 5-minute charge blast, the battery's core heats up far faster than heat can escape. A brutal thermal gradient forms. While an external sensor might calmly report 45 degrees Celsius, the internal core of the battery can spike beyond 80 degrees Celsius or even 90 degrees Celsius in seconds. The battery management system sees an instant voltage jump caused by resistance triggering false voltage, a chemical mirage that masks the true state of charge. Minutes 2-3. The ionic traffic jam. Minutes 2 and 3 introduce a problem no cooling system can solve: concentration polarization. Imagine forcing the entire population of Tokyo through a single subway turnstile in 1 minute. People pile up, pressure builds, and movement collapses. Charging a lithium-ion battery requires lithium ions to travel from the cathode to the anode and insert themselves into graphite layers, a process called intercalation. This takes physical time. Ions must diffuse through the electrolyte and locate available sites in the graphite lattice. Under a 12C charge rate, ions arrive faster than physics allows them to intercalate. Diffusion simply cannot keep up. The graphite surface saturates almost instantly. With nowhere to go and massive voltage still pushing them forward, ions accumulate at the anode surface. Electrochemical potential drops sharply. Cooling systems now run at full output, but cooling cannot accelerate ion diffusion inside a separator. At this point, the battery is no longer charging efficiently. It is choking. Minute 4. The kill zone lithium plating. Minute 4 is the most dangerous phase, the kill zone, where lithium plating begins. Plated lithium is not harmless. It is dead capacity. Over repeated 5-minute charges, it grows into mossy, needle-like dendrites. A startup might show one successful demo, but they will never show you the cross-section of that battery after 50 cycles. The anode will likely be coated with inactive lithium metal, permanently reducing range. Worse dendrites can puncture the separator, causing internal shorts and thermal runaway fires. This is the hidden cost of extreme fast charging. You are electroplating the inside of the battery with dead metal. Minute 5. Structural fracture and SEI collapse. By minute 5, the damage becomes structural. The battery reports 100%, but physically, it has aged months or years in minutes. The solid electrolyte interface. A microscopic protective layer on the anode is critical for longevity, but it is fragile. High current charging causes violent volume expansion. If silicon is used, the anode can expand by up to 300%. A 5-minute charge turns that expansion into a mechanical shock, cracking the solid electrolyte interface like an eggshell. Each crack exposes fresh anode material to the electrolyte. The battery repairs it, chemically consuming lithium and electrolyte in the process. This is internal self-consumption. Meanwhile, extreme core temperatures can boil and decompose the electrolyte-generating gas. Cells swell. Mechanical stress spreads through the pack structure. The fans stop. The display says, "Ready to drive." The damage is already done. Industry data provides the necessary reality check. Today's best commercial systems, such as CATL's Shengsing Plus or XPeng's G9, operate around 4C, delivering roughly 200 to 300 kilometers of range in 10 minutes, not 0 to 100% in 5. Even infrastructure exposes the illusion. Charging a 100 kilowatt-hours battery in 5 minutes requires roughly 1.2 megawatts of power, more than many grocery stores consume. A 10-stall station would rival a small industrial facility. Current combined charging system hardware tops out around 350 to 400 kilowatts. To reach 1.2 megawatts, we would need radically higher voltages or cables, so heavy they require robotic handling. Engineering reality remains unforgiving. Inside the cell, such charging unleashes extreme heat lithium plating and structural fracture. Until there is a genuine revolution in materials likely true solid-state lithium metal cells, this speed remains a trade-off paid in degradation. Physics cannot be optimized away. The speed is real, but the cost is hidden, and it is paid in longevity. A 5-minute charge sounds like freedom. It feels like the final barrier between electric vehicles and total dominance has been smashed. But inside the battery, nothing about that moment is free. What looks like progress on a dashboard is in reality a forced negotiation with physics, and physics always collects its debt. Fast charging is not evil. It is necessary, but there is a hard boundary between fast enough and fundamentally abusive. The reason CATL bid and Tesla stop at 10 to 15 minutes is not conservatism or lack of imagination. It is restraint earned through millions of cells dissected, tested, and failed. They understand that batteries do not die from one catastrophic event, but from thousands of microscopic compromises stacked on top of each other. A startup demo can bend the rules once. Mass production cannot. Longevity, safety, and cost do not coexist with extreme charging unless the chemistry itself changes. Until lithium plating, thermal gradients, and SEI fracture are eliminated at the material level, not optimized around 5-minute charging, remains a controlled sacrifice. The speed is real. The electrons do move. The car will drive away. But inside the cell, the clock has already jumped forward.